just happened is good. I use great job all the time. I use great job and I use good job. Sometimes when I make a mistake or something funny happens and I'm alone at my house and I want to make fun of myself, I'll be like, yeah, great job, Alicia. But if I'm trying to be positive about a failure or laugh at myself a bit. But in general, it's just a good, easy compliment to give someone. Great job. You have a way with words. You have a way with words. This can be speaking. This can be writing. It means you think that the other person is a good communicator, or maybe even more so than just a good communicator. You think that the way they speak or the way that they write is particularly good. So that could mean funny, it could mean romantic, it could mean dramatic. Something about the way they speak or the way that they write, you really enjoy that. You can say, you have a way with words. It's quite a nice compliment. I think it's kind of like a, bit smart. It's a bit of a smart thing. You have a way with words. Or you could say, you're good with words. You're really good with words. Yeah. All right. Next one. You look gorgeous. You look gorgeous. Very nice compliment to give. Just be very careful with the way that you say this. For an everyday compliment, I tend not to say you look nice or you look gorgeous today or something like that, because the underlying comment there is on the other days that person doesn't look nice. So if I want to compliment someone's appearance, I try to pick a specific thing. I'm like, oh, I've never seen you wear that sweater before. It looks nice on you. Something like that. Like yesterday, my friend had a new dress on and I was like, is that a new dress? And because I thought she looked nice. But I didn't want to make it sound like I don't think she looks nice every day. So I said, is that a new dress? And she goes, yeah. And I said, I think that color is really, really nice on you. It looks really good. And she was so happy about that. So yes, there are these compliments like you look nice, you look great, you look gorgeous, and so on. But I personally kind of prefer to level them up a little bit and just say, pick a specific thing. Like, did you get a new haircut? Did you dye your hair? Or did you get something? Did something happen? Like whatever it is, try to pick up on a specific thing, because then that shows you're paying attention to the other person. And you think that whatever they have chosen to do, whatever like clothing or whatever haircut, whatever it is, you think that they have good sense there too, or good style. So it's kind of like it's a very subtle double compliment. Yeah. The next word is you have good taste. You have good taste. This can be for food, fashion, style, for decorating sense, music in movies, whatever. If you think that that person's artistic selection in whatever capacity, if you think that that person makes good choices with their appearance or their hobbies or whatever, you can say you have good taste. This is a fairly sophisticated compliment, I think. We use you have good taste for something like it sounds a bit more sophisticated. Maybe if you both choose the same bottle of wine, perhaps. Like it has kind of a more formal, adultish, sophisticated feeling about it, this compliment. So yeah, maybe wine is a good example of that. Yeah. Oh, nice bottle choice. Like, I really like that. You have good taste. You can follow this, by the way. You have good taste in blah, blah, blah. You have good taste in movies. You have good taste in music. If you want to be specific about something that you think that person is really good at choosing, you have good taste in noun. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next one is you have a great sense of humor. You have a great sense of humor. This is the underlying compliment in the phrase, you're so funny. This is the underlying compliment. You have a great sense of humor means the other person thinks you're funny, that you are good at telling jokes or you make them laugh. This is actually one of my favorite compliments to get. You have a great sense of humor. Yeah, because I think that, like, people like to laugh. So it's an if someone makes you laugh, you can say this. You have a great sense of humor or you're very funny. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. So you can say it after a joke, for example, or after maybe you've finished laughing at something the other person has said. You can say, ah, you have a great sense of humor. Good. Next one is, your resume is impressive. This is a weird compliment to say to your friends. Unless you're like reviewing your friend's resume. It's a bit weird. This is something that perhaps someone interviewing another person for a job would say. The candidate comes in for the interview, the interviewer says, wow, your resume is very impressive. I'd like to ask you a few questions about it. Yay! A few questions about it. Yay! So this is good to hear in a work situation. Yeah, you really probably won't need to use this with your friends. If you do, it's kind of weird. Oh, wow! This next one is quite a compliment. Nobody's ever said this to me. To be fair, if somebody said this next one to me, I would feel a little bit of like pressure. The compliment here is, you make me want to be a better person. This is something that I think you see in movies from time to time. Yeah, I had one person say oh, that something you did inspired me. And that was like really like, oh, that was really exciting. Like somebody was inspired by something. Like, wow, that's great. Or I want to be like you. That's a really cool compliment. But if someone says, you want to make me be a better person, it's like, oh, wow, like that means I'm really important to that person, which is really flattering. But at the same time, if someone said that, I would also be like, if it's like my friend, I would be like, but I want you to be you. Like, I think you're a cool person already. Yeah, it's like, oh, you make me want to be a better person. Like, in that person's viewpoint, you're like somehow above them, and that's uncomfortable. Yeah, I would rather say, you inspire me. I think or like, this thing that you did really inspired me. Like, if somebody said, like, I saw that picture that you posted on Twitter of that pizza today, Alicia, and it really inspired me, and I made my own pizza. I'd be like, yay! Oh. Next one is nice. Actually, I say this to my friends quite a bit. You are an awesome friend. This is really, really good to use after your friend has helped you with something. Maybe you're moving to a new apartment or a new house, or maybe you've had some trouble and your friend gave you some good advice, or your friend just listened to you when you really needed to talk to someone. After that experience, you can say, thanks so much, you were an awesome friend. Or maybe your friend did something really, really cool and you just want to like tell them, like, I think you're really awesome. Just say, you are an awesome friend. They'll be happy to hear that. Or just, you can abbreviate it to, you are awesome. Not just you're an awesome friend, just you are awesome. You are a cool person. You are awesome. You're fantastic. You are an awesome friend. You're an awesome friend. 10 ways to motivate yourself when learning English. Let's go. The first way to motivate yourself is to imagine that one day you will live in the United States. So to do this, imagine, what is your day going to be like when you live in the US? Where will you go? Who will you meet? Where will you shop? And so on. Imagine your day in the United States. Okay, the second way to motivate yourself when you're studying English is to study other aspects of the culture too, which makes it more rewarding to study English. Okay, so this means, of course, studying English as a language, but if there's a specific country that you'd like to visit or a specific part of that country's culture, try to learn about that too. If you like music, if you like the food, if you like the history, try to find something about a specific country or a specific part of that country's culture that you enjoy in addition to studying the language. Okay. Way number 3 to motivate yourself is finding funny words in English. Okay, so finding a word that sounds funny or a word that you enjoy using or a phrase that you enjoy using can really increase your motivation for using that word and for interacting with people. So if you can find those phrases that you think are funny or are fun, they can be really, really helpful for you as you learn your language. The next way to motivate yourself is to make friends with people who speak English. So of course, if you don't have any friends who are English speakers, especially native English speakers, it's a really good idea to make some friends. This way you can practice with them, you can learn from them, and you can just see maybe what their life is like and how their life is different from yours. So this is a great way to practice, a great way to learn, and a great way to think more internationally as well. The next way to motivate yourself is watching YouTube videos of other people who have successfully learned English. So you can listen to people, what worked for them, how did they study, where did they go, what materials did they use, what did they find not helpful? So you can try to find a strategy that works well for you through using resources like YouTube, for example. It's a great way to find people that maybe match with what you need. Okay. The next way to motivate yourself is by watching English movies and TV shows and enjoying the feeling when you can understand a word or a sentence. Yeah, I do this too. When you enjoy something, when you find entertainment value in something like music, movies, TV, and there's that moment when you pick up or when you understand what your favorite character said, or you understand like a key point in the story, it's a really, really good feeling. It makes you want to continue watching, I think. So that's a really, really nice feeling, I think. And you can do that by enjoying media. So it's a fun way to learn, and it's a fun feeling to experience. Okay. The next way to motivate yourself is by reading English news articles, blogs, and magazines to get a feel for formal and casual language. So the style that we use here, like at English Class 101, and on the videos on this channel is quite casual most of the time, or at least in these videos it's very casual. But the way that I speak and the way a newspaper is written, the way a magazine is written, the way a newscaster presents the information. These are all different ways of communicating. We're using the same language, yes, but there are different styles. So it's important to try to understand those differences and to become familiar with them. So try to find a few different things that you can enjoy. The next way to motivate yourself is after dinner, you write about your day in a journal in English. Okay, this is an interesting idea. So just take a few minutes after dinner or before you go to bed to write something in English about what you did that day. Or maybe so you have a chance to talk about future tense, or to use the future tense, you can talk about your upcoming plans or the things you're going to do the next day. So you can talk about past tense, what you did that day, maybe present tense, how you're feeling as you're writing your journal for the day, and future tense, to talk about your upcoming plans. So journaling can be a really effective exercise for motivating you. Okay. The next way to motivate yourself is by practicing with flashcards of useful words and phrases for 15 minutes every day on the train. I actually do this. But I use an application to study Japanese, to study kanji. And 15 minutes every day adds up over the course of a week. You can learn a lot of information in a short period of time. And if you live in the country where your target language is spoken, then you might even find the word you studied on the train, you see it like after you leave the train. You might see that word later on in your day. So you can immediately feel like an extra sense of motivation by knowing that this thing you're studying is applicable, is something you can use right away. It's a really cool feeling. So this is a tip. I use this. Last, I make sure to thank anyone and everyone who corrects my English. Yeah, I think this is really important because people are really nice. They don't want to correct you when you make a mistake, but sometimes people do. They're really polite about it and they tell you a more natural way, or they give you a suggestion for how to improve your English. Make sure you say thank you, like repeat after them and then say thank you, so that, you know, it's motivation for them to tell you again in the future, to help you again in the future. So make sure to say thank you to anyone who helps you with your English. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to our English class channel. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between by and until. So let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to talk about by. By marks a deadline for an action to finish. By marks the point where an action completes or is replaced by another action. So really think about using by to express a deadline. Something is going to stop, or you must finish an action at this point in time. So we can think about by as marking some point in the future. So by marks some point in the future where an action is going to finish, an action is going to be completed. So in an example sentence I have, I'll be at the office by 7 p.m. So in this sentence, the speaker is not at the office, but 7 p.m. is the deadline. This is the point in time at which the speaker will be at the office. The speaker is not at the office now, but by 7 p.m., by the 7 p.m. deadline, the speaker will be at the office. This will shows us this is a future tense expression, and by shows us the deadline, the point at which that expression or the point at which that action is going to be completed. So this is how we use by, to think about it like a deadline, some point in time at which an action will be completed or finished. Okay, so let's continue on to the other grammar point for today, which is until. Until also has a more casual form. We can use till, T-I-L-L, or apostrophe T-I-L. You might see both spellings used for until, till, or till. In most cases, it's good to use until. In casual speaking and maybe in casual writing, you can use the casual form. But until is always polite and is always correct. Okay, so when we use until, let's talk about when to use until. We use until to talk about a continuing situation or a continuing state now in the present or in the future, but it's going to change or stop. So the key difference, one key difference here perhaps, is a continuing situation, a continuing state. With by, the nuance is a deadline. Something is going to finish at a deadline. Here, however, until gives us the nuance of something that's continuing. Something true now for example, but that may not be true in the future. Until marks the point where that action or that state is going to finish or change. Okay, so we can think of it rather than as a deadline, as a key point in the future somewhere where action A continues until a point where we use until, and then a second action begins. Something is going to change at the until point. With by, however, we don't have the nuance of an action changing. We only have the nuance of a deadline. So here, until is used to show that something different is going to happen. Or something will finish, but there's going to be a change after the until point. So for example, this sentence, very similar to the by example sentence, is I'll be at the office until 7 p.m. So here we have the future tense I will. I'll be at the office until 7 p.m. This sentence shows us the speaker is at the office right now. However, at 7 p.m., until shows us that 7 p.m. is the point at which the situation or the state is going to change. So at 7 p.m., the speaker is probably going to leave the office. Until shows us that right here, the action or the state is going to change. So please keep that in mind. Until shows you a change in something. By shows more of a deadline for an action. For an action that is continuing. So I hope my office all week last week. Meanwhile, my coworkers across town were having a party without me. So these two things are happening at the same time, but maybe separate from one another. Meanwhile. Likewise. Okay, likewise. I don't really use this word personally myself at all. It's often used after an introduction, similar to the pleasure is all mine in a formal situation. So maybe somebody says, you know, hey, it was really great to see you last weekend. Thanks very much for coming to my barbecue. You can say, yeah, likewise, it was really good to see you and your family. So likewise means I have the same feeling or I have the same idea. It's kind of a friendly phrase, but personally, I don't really use that to transition between thoughts. I would just use and, I suppose, but no. That's how I would use it. Instead. So instead, it's used like instead of. I want to A instead of B can be used to express your plans or what you want to do. I want to have Chinese food instead of Italian food tonight. So you're presenting two alternatives, essentially. So instead of means in place of or as a substitute for. So I should have drank a lot of water this morning, but instead I drank a lot of coffee. That's true. I wanted to have dinner with my friends this weekend. Instead, I had dinner at home. In addition. In addition, this is a really good word for more formal situations. I like to use in addition in writing. I don't really use in addition in speaking unless I'm trying to be very formal for some reason. Similar to additionally as well. So you make point A and point B, and then when you want to make one more point that's related to point A and point B, you can say, in addition, point C. So you're like building an argument, and in addition can be used to kind of finish that argument off a little bit. Our new marketing plan worked really well last month. We noticed increased sales in product A. In addition, we've gained a lot of new customers, something like that. So just you're quickly presenting a series of ideas that are related to one another. You can use in addition to finish it off. For the beach. Let's go. Sunglasses. The first word is sunglasses. Sunglasses are those dark glasses that you wear on your face when it's bright outside. In a sentence, I forgot my sunglasses. Hold on, I forgot my sunglasses. Beach. Beach is the place near the ocean. You might have a beach in your city or in your country. The beach is usually visited You can get a tan, you can get a sunburn, but it's usually a fun place to spend time with family and friends. In a sentence, I'm going to the beach with my friends this weekend. I'm so excited. In this sentence, she walked along the beach. Swimming. The next word is swimming. Swimming is, of course, a popular activity to do at the beach. I go swimming at the beach every summer. Or in this sentence, be very careful when swimming in the Pacific Ocean. There might be sharks. Sun. Sun is that big bright thing in the sky that will make your skin change color if you stay in it for too long. So the sun, in a sentence, the sun is really bright. Let's get out.
49% bé bị táo bón do không hộp sữa. Famna, sản xuất 100% tại Thụy Điển, được nghiên cứu lâm sàng trên trẻ em Việt. Giảm 77,5% tỷ lệ táo bón.
Let's get out of the sun. Palm tree. The next word is palm tree. So palm trees are a type of tree. They're usually seen in like tropical places, like Hawaii has palm trees. Any place close to the equator, the middle line of the earth. I think that's where palm trees tend to grow. It's kind of an image of the beach. So palm trees. There are a lot of palm trees near the beach in California. That palm tree is almost 60 feet tall. Seashell. The next word is seashell. Seashell are those little objects you find on the beach, like in the sand or in the water. In some cases, they're like shells from like clams or maybe oysters sometimes too, depending on what you consider a seashell. But if you break the word down, it's sea and shell. So like something from the ocean and the shell, or like the covering, the outside of something. So usually a small creature, a small animal has lived inside the seashell. And then you can collect them and, I don't know, look at them or make something from them. Little kids like to collect them. I used to collect seashells when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, look at this example sentence. It says, it's bad luck to take seashells from the beach. Oops. Swimsuit. Swimsuit is the clothing you wear to swim in, your swimming suit. There are men's swimsuits, women's swimsuits. Usually men's swimsuits are shorts, board shorts, or I suppose there's like Speedo makes like the men's swimsuits as well, the really small ones. And then for women, they have one-piece swimsuits. And then they have bikini swimsuits, the two-piece swimsuits. So in a sentence, I hate swimsuit shopping. In this sentence, I need a new swimsuit this summer. Ocean. The next word is ocean. Ocean is the big blue, the big water, the big deep blue sea. In a sentence, the ocean is so beautiful at night. In this sentence, he dipped his feet in the ocean. Lifeguard. Lifeguard. A lifeguard is a person at the beach. Lifeguard, so someone who guards lives. If someone gets into trouble in the water, they start to drown or they start to have trouble. If there's an accident at the beach, the lifeguard at the beach is responsible for handling that problem. So they'll call an ambulance or they know how to do first aid to save people. So in a sentence, it's important to go to beaches where there are lifeguards available if you need help. In this sentence, there isn't a lifeguard on duty here. Jet ski. Next word is jet ski. A jet ski is like a water motorcycle. You can ride around it with your friends, alone. Riding jet skis is a lot of fun. In this sentence, if you have a driver's license, you can drive a jet ski. Beach towel. The next expression is beach towel. Beach towel. Beach towel is different from regular towel because usually beach towels have like a bright color or a bright pattern, or they're towels that you don't mind, or towels that are okay to get sand or dirt in them. Usually in a towel you use in your house, you don't want to get your towel really, really dirty. So a beach towel is a towel you use only at the beach. In a sentence, I bought a new beach towel and it has a picture of a hamburger on it. In this sentence, oh no, I got sand all over my beach towel. That's the point of a beach towel. Beach chair. The next expression is beach chair. As you can probably guess, it is a chair you use only at the beach. So again, this is a chair you don't mind. It's okay if it gets dirty or sandy. Usually a beach chair is easy to fold or easy to carry too. In a sentence, I have a couple of beach chairs that I'm going to bring to the barbecue this weekend. In this sentence, can we use these beach chairs? Sandcastle. The next word is sandcastles. Sandcastles are usually kids make them. They use like buckets. So kids will like put sand in a bucket, or like they move sand into piles and design castles or these really complicated mazes or something. They make buildings out of sand. We call those sand castles. So in a sentence, my brother and I used to make sand castles on the beach when we were kids. That's true. In this sentence, get the buckets and we'll make a sand castle. Cooler. So cooler is a noun in this case. Cooler is the place you keep your drinks and your food. It looks like a suitcase, but it has a special lining inside that keeps cold things cold. So you can put ice inside and it will keep your food and drinks cold while you are at the beach in the hot weather. So in a sentence, did you put a bunch of beers in the cooler? I forgot ice for the cooler. Tide. The next word is tide. Tide is the level of the water, the level of the ocean water at different times of day. So if you are interested in this sort of thing, you might know about high tide and low tide. High tide means the water level at the beach is high. Low tide means the water level at the beach is low. So tide is how high or low the water is. In this sentence, the tide ebbed and revealed a starfish. Ebbed means it went away a little bit. So tide is the flow of water. Tan. So tan is, we use it as a noun, like to get a tan in a sentence. It means that your skin turns a darker color. So be careful, there are two words we use in English. Tan means your skin gets a little bit darker, and we also use the word sunburn or just burn. Burn means your skin gets red. It means like it's damaged, maybe your skin peels a bit. So in America anyway, in the US anyway, a tan is usually considered a positive thing. Many people want tan skin, but sunburn, where your skin is red and damaged, is bad. So be careful. Those are two different words we use to talk about the changing skin color. I got a tan last summer at the beach. In this sentence, you got such a nice tan in Florida. Snorkeling. The next word is snorkeling. Snorkeling is really, really fun. Snorkeling is swimming, but you have like a hose, you have a pipe that you can breathe through as you swim. So you usually put goggles, you wear goggles as you're swimming in the ocean. You can look down and see fish, or you can see things in the ocean, but you can still breathe. So this is a really fun thing to do, to look at fish or just to hang out and see a different point of view. I went snorkeling for the first time maybe when I was 22, 23. In this sentence, she bought goggles so that she could go snorkeling in Hawaii. Flip-flop. The next word is flip-flop. Flip-flop is a very common beach sandal. Many people like to wear flip-flops in everyday life too. Some people prefer not to. It's up to you. Like in California, I know, especially in beach towns, everybody just wears flip-flops. It's very comfortable. So flip-flops kind of have an image of being a little bit cheap or just very, very simple. It's the most basic possible sandal. Why are they called flip-flops? Because I always thought it was because of the sound that they make. Sound, I guess. Maybe it sounds like flip-flop. In a sentence, I usually don't wear flip-flops. In this sentence, these flip-flops keep breaking. Sunscreen. Next word is sunscreen. Sunscreen, or you might also hear sunblock. These are products you can put on your skin to prevent a tan or to prevent a sunburn. Sunscreen, so it's a protection. It's a protection against the sunlight. I just hit this screen. So sunscreen is quite important. Like it is said that you should use sunscreen to help prevent skin cancer. In a sentence, I'm out of sunscreen. I need to buy more. In this sentence, Mom, I don't need sunscreen. Bikini. The next word is bikini. Bikini. We talked about swimsuit a little bit earlier, but bikini is usually a swimsuit for women, and it's 2 pieces. There's a bottom half and an upper half. And oftentimes the top half of the bikini, or sometimes the bottom half, you have to tie a knot or you have to latch something. I suppose if you don't tie it carefully, it can create a problem, like it could fall off. So bikini, it's a popular style of swimsuit for women. Are you going to wear your bikini to the beach tomorrow? In this sentence, my bikini came undone in front of everyone. It was so embarrassing. 5 sentence patterns that you can use as a beginner of English. Let's go. The first expression that you can use as a beginner is personally, I think that, or I would just use I think that. Personally makes it sound a little bit more polite, I think. You can use this to introduce an opinion. For example, personally, I think that pizza is amazing. Personally, I think that dinosaurs would have been delicious. Personally, I think that cars should be made to enjoy with friends. Okay, I'm gonna edit there. Personally, I think that you shouldn't worry about it. Yes, that's probably a much more useful sentence than dinosaurs would be delicious. The next expression is, what does blah 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 mean? So where here is the word you don't know. So for example, what does pasta mean? What does Stegosaurus mean? So a word like Stegosaurus is a really strange word that you probably don't know. Stegosaurus is a type of dinosaur. We're on a very dinosaurs, I don't know, we're on a Jurassic adventure at the moment. So this is a pattern you use when you don't know the meaning of the word and you would like someone to explain it to you. So if you say, what does Stegosaurus mean? Then someone can say, oh, it's a dinosaur. It's kind of like, it's a sort of short guy and it has a bunch of spikes on its back and it has a long tail and it gets into a fight with a Tyrannosaurus Rex, if you saw the movie Fantasia by Disney. Okay. So, in this sentence, what does complication mean? Means problem. Okay. The next pattern you can use is, can you tell me more about blah, blah, blah. So on a topic that you would like more information about, you can say, can you tell me more about the soccer game last week? Can you tell me more about the plan for the party next week? So something you would like more information about, you can say, can you tell me more about this thing? Okay. So in a sentence, can you tell me more about your sandwich options? That is a useful sentence. Very useful. That is a useful sentence. Okay. In this sentence here, we don't have that back home. Can you tell me more about it? This is used the reverse pattern. Okay. The next expression is, if it were up to me. If it were up to me. I had to teach this in a class a couple weeks ago, actually. If it were up to me means if I could make the decision, if this were my decision, blah, blah, blah. So meaning if I could make the choice, this is what I would do. But one point here is, the nuance is, it is not my decision. This is not my decision. But if it were my decision, I would do blah, blah, blah. So for example, if it were up to me, every day would be Saturday. Woo, woo, woo. But it's not, right? So that's always the underlying, that's always the kind of basic nuance of this phrase. This decision is not mine. Okay, here the example is, if it were up to me, I would take my boss to dinner. Oh my, things just got scandalous. The next pattern is, I feel like blah, blah, blah. You can use I feel like when you introduce a suggestion or something that you would like to do, especially for food, drinks, or activities. So, for example, I feel like coffee. I feel like Italian food. I feel like an action movie. There's some activity or something you would like to do at the end of this pattern. I feel like bowling this afternoon. Something needs to go here, some sort of activity. Of course, you can use this expression to talk about your feelings. I feel like something, but this something must be a noun. It must be a noun. Like if you feel really great, I feel like $1,000,000, for example. If you feel really bad, I feel like garbage. That's a nice expression that somehow just came out of my head. Anyway, you can use this in two ways, but this must be in the summer in the United States. So let's go. To travel abroad. To travel abroad. To travel abroad. Abroad means outside of your country. So meaning to travel to a place not the United States, in my case. Please don't forget to in this expression. So many of my students will say, this summer I'm going Europe. You need to use to before the place. You do not, however, need to use to before there. So like students sometimes will say, I want to go to there. You can't do that. You have to use to before the specific name of a place. There is not a specific place, so you don't need to use to. Keep that one in mind. To relax at the beach. To relax at the beach. Ah, that sounds fantastic right now. To relax at the beach. You go to the beach and you just relax there. You lay in the sun, you go swimming, maybe you drink a beer, you get a tan if you would like to do that. Of course, some people don't. You put on sunscreen, whatever it is that you like to do at the beach, you just do that and enjoy. In a sentence, I would rather relax at the beach than have a really active vacation. To learn English with EnglishClass101.com. To learn English with EnglishClass101.com. Thanks. So I guess if you are very ambitious this summer, good for you. You can learn English by doing what you're doing now. Or I think you can I presume you can visit the website for more content there too. I'm going to put my time to good use and learn English at EnglishClass101.com. To have a barbecue. Oh yeah, the next one is one of my favorite things ever to do in summer, wherever I am. It's to have a barbecue, or to have a BBQ is also okay, but barbecue usually. BBQ is in like writing. I love having barbecues with my friends in the summer. Every 4th of July, my family has a big barbecue. To party all night. The next expression is to party all night. To party all night, it doesn't have to be summer or the United States to party all night. Just saying. Anyway, to party all night means to do something